Good evening, everybody. Today I wanted to talk about a few things. I wanted to give you a point of view on the tech ecosystem, which feels very much scammy and weird lately. So let's start immediately with this first news. Meta is earning a fortune on a deluge of fraudulent ads. So 10% of Meta's revenue for last year, for 2024, came from scams like deepfakes of famous people or I don't know, whatever this is. And the thing is, they knew about it. There is an internal document saying that it's much easier to sponsor scams on Meta than Google, for example. And the thing is, they structured it in a way that is so dumb in hindsight. Because what Meta does is they have an internal AI tool that scans the campaign and finds out how much scammy it is. And if it's 95% sure that it's a scam, it's going to block it. But below 95%, it's not going to block it. And what it's going to do is it's going to increase the price as it gets scammier. All right? So if your ad is suspected to be a scam, instead of it being stopped, you're just going to be asked for more money. You're just going to be asked to pay more. So scam ads somehow were turned by Meta into a very lucrative business opportunity, and it's actually a good chunk of the most well-performing ads for Meta itself. They're some of the most expensive items that they offer to advertisers. Anyway, this is the Reuters article. Meta internally projected last year that it would earn about 10% of its overall revenue, or $16 billion, from running advertising for scams and banned goods. Internal document shows. The company shows its platforms 15 billion high-risk. The company shows its 15 billion users high-risk scam advertisements every day. Meta earns about 7 billion in annualized revenue from this category of scam each year, another late 2024 document suggests. So, this is the worst company in the world. Not only does it surveil culture, not only is it the disgusting guardian of culture, it also is actively promoting scams, actively attacking its user base, actively showing you what it knows is a scam, but it won't stop because it's good money for them. The stock has been on a downtrend. It lost about, I think, 15%. And it's just, I hate Meta. It's a personal thing for me, but I just don't see it being any good. The only thing is, users are hostage of it. Users are hostage of the fact that Instagram has a network effect. So everybody is on Instagram. But I think that their hegemony is coming to a slow end, fortunately, for a lot of reasons, actually. One is AI. AI is displacing a lot of existing websites. And I think that social media is going to be strongly impacted. But also when it comes to WhatsApp, I think that what you need is an alternative for sure. And also it's very scammy in the ways that it tracks you. It's very surveillance based. It's a disgusting platform. It's really a disgusting platform. And so I hope that it just miserably fails. That's what I hope for Meta. I just find it absolutely I find it mind-blowing that it hasn't been sanctioned, it hasn't been stopped. This is the late-stage capitalism that everybody, denounces. But you need to be doing something about this. This is an attack to the users, a further attack, because users are already, being exploited. Their data is being exploited, and I think that data really is the most important asset that you can have today. And so the quicker the data transfer from users to these platforms can be stopped, the better. So I just have a ick when it comes to Meta, especially. But fortunately, the internet is dead, and it's not like Google or any other big tech companies are better. And instead, actually, let me show you something about our friend Sam Altman. Sam Altman was recently asked on this interview how OpenAI intends to spend 1.4 trillion when it has 13 billion in revenues. So how are you going to spend 1,000 times more what you earned?
How can a company with 13 billion in revenues make 1.4 trillion of spend commitments? And you've heard the criticism,
First
Sam.
of all, we're doing well more revenue than that. Second of all, Brad, if you want to sell your shares, I'll find you a buyer. Enough. Like,
if you guys were, are doing in excess of $100 billion of revenue in 28 or 29, then you at least would be in a position. What?
How about 27?
Yeah, 27, even better. How can the company?
Right. So he was asked, how are you going to finance this? How are you going to spend all the money that you intend on spending? And, he crashed out, obviously. Also, lately, there has been this statement from NVIDIA's CEO saying that China is nanoseconds behind America in AI. It's vital that America wins this race. And basically, they're asking for a bailout. Sam Altman has said it in his business philosophy. He just wants bailouts. He wants to be bailed out. And the thing is, this is exactly what brought in, this VC mindset is exactly what ushered in the techno-feudalism era that we live in. A couple of decades ago, there was this movement intent on burning as much cash as possible in order to lock in all the customers of the world. Amazon is one of the most clear examples, but obviously Google and other tech giants are doing the same. And basically what happened is that this philosophy consisted in burning money at the beginning and basically forcing your users to only use your services. And then in recent years, it turned into exploiting your users, charging them more for less, just all sorts of trickeries and financial magic to just have them locked in, steal all the data, and just study the behavior of users in order to exploit as much as possible. It's clear that OpenAI, the only way that OpenAI doesn't crash, the only way the bubble doesn't pop, the only way that you create a excess of GDP growth that is so enormous as the investment is with AGI, which brings about a never-ending list of social problems. There are so many problems with companies like these. This is the TECHNOFEUDALISM 2.0 wave, which everybody can sort of conceptualize. Not many people can still understand the implications of this, but the thing is, techno-feudalism means that you own nothing and you rent everything. but there still are jobs and whatnot. Obviously, they're not high status jobs. But basically, techno-feudalism 2.0, AGI, means that everything gets taken away. Every production pipeline, let's call it, everything that is being produced, everything that is being created, does not need any more people. Robotics and AI have this huge problem. And the thing is, that's the only thing that is going to keep afloat this huge bubble that for some reason the government wants to get invested in. And this brings about, this is a very sliding doors moment. This may be the moment in which capitalism eats democracy or vice versa. And I'm definitely not optimistic about this. For some reason, actually there are many reasons, but it just feels like, techno-feudalism is here, oligarchs rule everything. The West has turned into an oligarchy. They often talk about, Russia being an oligarchy. The actual oligarchies are the West. The Western countries. If you're rich in the West, you can go to jail. If you're rich in the West, you can commit all the white-collar crimes that you want, especially now. You can scam with crypto, nothing happens to you. You can, you can do many things. You can commit crime. Crime is legal now. But anyway, I just think that techno-feudalism is at a breakout point. It just feels like this techno oligarchy is, first of all, very, very not. It doesn't care about society. It is basically provoking the destruction of all social norms, all social boundaries, all social hierarchies. Everything is being broken, and that is the perfect recipe for rebellion. That is the perfect recipe for revolution or civil war to break out, pretty much. And that is why you need Palantir. That is why Palantir trades at a 600 multiple. That is why people, or let's say that is why the market is pouring money into Palantir, because now that you have created social instability everywhere, you have to safeguard it. You have to treat everybody as a potential terrorist, because you've basically turned the whole country into a playground for either terrorists or nothing. The only thing that you can do, actually, is, there is simply no path to ownership of anything, all right? So, this is feudalism. And under feudalism, you have to keep your slaves surveilled. You have to keep them subservient. You have to own them. That is why Palantir is trading at the multiples it does. And finally, this is the only way that the US wins. This is the only way that the West wins AI. AI is a tyrannical technology. The only way that you win in AI is by turning into a monarchy or into an authoritarian regime like China. Now, China has this strong advantage of not being subject to revolt, not being subject to revolution, not being subject to rebellion, because it is by nature an authoritarian regime. And by many accounts, the West is turning into that. by many accounts, the West is turning into this surveillance 1984 nightmare under which, well, it just it's just sad. It's just so sad. And so you'll see GDP skyrocketing, I guess, across the world. But at the same time, you're going to see freedom decline a lot. And I mean, we'll obviously have to see how that goes, but you know, it's a definitely an interesting time to be alive. The ground is shaking, and the thing is, from chaos comes order, and the order that is simplest to instantiate in these circumstances is a monarchy. So all of society is being pretty much put on the line. It's a bet against everything and everyone. It's the goal of AI is that of taking over every industry, and we'll have to see how that goes. But it's going to be a very disruptive time. It's technology that needs to be socialized, pretty much. It needs to be nationalized. It needs to be under the government's control. Otherwise, you're breeding another wave of oligarchs that own everything. And this time, they don't only own the products, but also the creation chain. So that's really something. All right. This is TECHNOFEUDALISM 2.0. And so that's really something. We'll have to see if China wins. They're apparently nanoseconds behind. And I guess this was it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.